Hello, I'm Andrew Titley. I'm a mountain biker and I ride on the Intense Racing UK team. Yeah, it's been a good one, yeah. It's just been, being part of the Intense team, the Saddleback Intense team's just been incredible, it's such a close-knit little family of riders that to being part of that just helped my results no end, trying to chase the young lads down the hill and to win the overall and to win the national champs is easier said than done, to be fair, because a lot of luck and a lot of hard work has to go into to win them both, really. So yeah, I'm over the moon, really, to be honest. It's been good. The first year they've had a team, Charlie Hatton, me, Ollie Morris, had Jess on the team this year. Yeah, it's just been great fun, really. They've gone about it in such a good way. They had loads of pre-season meetings and ridings, which made us become really close knit as a team of riders, and really good backing and good support, and it's been really good fun. We talk about where we want to be and sort of what we need to be doing, and sort of it's new to them, so they want to hear from us as riders to know that what we want, and they let us know what they want. I definitely feel it's nice to be able to give the advice to the younger riders, although the young riders these days are so professional from the offset that I've actually learnt from them as much as they've possibly learnt from me. They're very clinical, anal about sort of every detail, which is good because it's made me fine-tune things a little bit. With regards to the young lads now that want to be the next top World Cup riders or top enduro riders, they need to be on their game right from the offset. Intense bikes, they've got some incredible bikes. I'm going to ride the 29er next year. I raced the Tracer this year, which is such an awesome bike, but I have always actually been an advocate of the 29er. Yeah, the 29er is the bike for the job, really, and I'm fully behind that. And I love riding the Tracer this year, and a lot of people love them and sort of find them more playful, but I do like to just cover some ground on them slightly bigger wheels and make it count. I really concentrated on downhill last year, which was really good fun, and I really enjoyed being on the downhill circuit. With winning the national champs and the overall, I sort of feel job done with that, really. So I'm going to have a blast, go back to a real hard season of enduro next year, which maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, but I like to challenge myself, and especially with the national series that Steve Parr's putting on, I'm really looking forward to it. I've always enjoyed Steve's events, so push hard and get uber fit and hopefully win some enduro races next year. I still feel that enduro is massively finding its feet. It's tricky to know which is the best format, because some people you can go whenever you want, and it's you can chase your friends down the hill, and then I prefer you get given a time and you're there, and you're committed to that time, and you have to just be there on time and make sure it counts. I feel the sort of mash-up format is more fun because you can ride with your mates and you just get to go whenever you want. Maybe for the people that aren't through and through racers that just want to have a ride with their mates, that's probably the better format, but it'll work itself out, really, I think, over time. To be honest, I feel that downhill will always be the sort of pinnacle of the pro mountain biking that's out there as far as downhill. It's just so pro, and so the format just works so well. It knows where it is, and it's going to continue to be that. I feel the enduro, as I say, it's still finding its feet, and it is always going to be popular. I feel the EWS has been incredible for the sport, and it's really sort of pushed on the pro side of things. What's very apparent with the EWS is they've gone along the format of the events are just incredibly hard, so it's not for the sort of faint-hearted. You have to be an absolute machine, like fitness and strength. As far as racing in the UK goes, I think Steve's trying to make the events a bit more fun, so it does appeal to more people, which is great, because the more people that come to events and do them and enjoy them, the more mountain bikers will get into it, and sport's evolved no end, and it still is evolving. That's the thing. With it being such a young sport, you know, in the grand scheme of a sport, it's very short, isn't it? It's very new. So the bikes were so basic back in the day. I mean, they didn't seem basic, but there wasn't anything else out there to compare them to. And, you know, I look back to a race bike from the early 90s, and you know, it's almost like a different sport. It was more like a road bike than it is a mountain bike. Just how professional it's become, especially downhill. You know, downhill is like the Formula One of mountain biking. It's so unbelievably pro now, and when you see Red Bull behind it and how professional the program and the filming and everything, the whole package, you know, it's becoming more and more of a professional sport. To be honest, I'd like to say that I was really into all that stuff, but I think having raced and ridden for so many years and always had sort of sponsorship, you know, all this time, generally I get on the bike and just ride it and don't really take a huge amount of you know, interest in sort of the geometries and the sort of travel and everything. I found with regards to my training side of things, I'm pretty good at sort of pushing hard for a relatively short amount of time and just really making it count. I find it really hard to sort of go out and just spend hours on the bike, which actually is probably what I'm going to have to do for enduro next year, but I just train really hard when I train, and I find it works really well for me. I've got my own sort of gym at home, which is handy, and I've got trails pretty much on my doorstep, so you know, I'm not out there travelling around so much to find the trails. I'm just jumping on my bike, you know, whenever I get the opportunity, and just training as hard as I can. To be honest, you know, as a lad in my early 20s or like late teens, we didn't have anyone to aspire to be like. You know, we were sort of almost the first people doing it. So, you know, these days the young riders look to other pros as, you know, following their footsteps, but we were just having fun, and we were sort of coming from such a serious sport, you know, from the cross-country side of things and road riding, where no one did, you know, hardly any partying whatsoever, and we were looking more at the sort of extreme sports like snowboarding and skateboarding, and sort of trying to be a bit more radical, you know, with things, and just partying and having fun really. And I wouldn't change it for the world, because, you know, being sponsored and being sort of actively encouraged to just, you know, rage and have a wild time, you know, why wouldn't you? Oh well, you mentioned you were going to ask me this question, but I actually don't know the answer to this one. I mean, it's been just so many races over the year. Doing sort of well in World Cups back in the day was cool, some sort of top 20 results World Cup, you know, beating Petey and Warner and stuff at you know, some of the early races, which, you know, was never an easy thing to do. Generally had to rely on them having issues, but hey, I'll take that. I don't know, I'm really psyched on racing at the moment. You know, the last sort of 5 years of sort of doing really well in sort of enduro and downhill, and, you know, getting some good sponsorship and enjoying the racing, and, you know, winning national champs, and I don't know, it's all good. I love racing, I love riding my bikes, and just seeing it evolve and evolving with it. It's just you know, all part of it really. So I'm just
maybe the greatest moments yet to come.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's yet to come. Yeah.